Welcome back to Accounting and Training Services Certificate in Xero Accounting course. Lesson 16, Understanding and Assigning User Roles in Xero. Since Xero is a cloud or internet-based accounting software, multiple people or users can access and use Xero software from various devices from the same or different locations and work on the same account simultaneously without any problems. The way the multi-user function of Xero works is by inviting other users and assigning a user role to each user. Depending what role is assigned to a person, he or she will have access to Xero software accordingly. Here is the list of user roles you can assign to a person or user when inviting a user into your Xero account and give the user full or partial access to your Xero account. The advisor user role has full control over the accounts with the same access to Xero as a standard user, but with a few extra permissions. This includes access to lock period and ability to publish reports. This user role is normally given to accountants and Xero certified advisor. Second is a standard user role. User with the standard user role will have the same control and access as the advisor, but cannot publish report or set lock dates. This user role is normally given to the main Xero account administrator. Third is the payroll admin access. User with the payroll admin access will have full payroll access, including preparing and posting pay runs and payroll reporting, but all other areas of Xero will be unavailable from the payroll admin. This user role is normally given to a payroll officer or payroll administrator. Fourth, new expense user permission. New expense user permission allow employees to capture receipts and submit claims for their work expenses with their mobile devices. The user role is normally given to the employees to claim expense reimbursement. Fifth, invoice-only user role. Invoice-only user role can either create draft invoices, sell, quoting and invoices, purchase order and bills, or approve and pay for sales and purchases. 6. Read-only role. Read-only role allows the user to access read-only reports that are published by the advisor. This role is normally given to manager, director, board of director, or the board of trustees members to view the read-only published reports. Okay, let's have a good look at each of these user roles inside Xero software in action and learn how to use this feature of Xero, and then try to invite me as a payroll admin user only. To access the user settings, go to your Xero dashboard and then under the Organization tab, select the Settings option to open the Organization Settings window. Once you are in the Organization Settings window, click on the User option to open Users window. So from your dashboard, under the Organization tab, click on the Settings option and then click on the User option next. In the Users window, you will have the following two options: Add Xero Support and Invite a User. Add Xero Support allows you to get online support from the Xero support team by inviting them to access your Xero account. And Invite a User allows you to invite a user to access all areas or certain areas of your Xero account. So to invite a user into your Xero account, click on the Invite User once. Then you need to type in the name, the first name and the family name and email address. So here we've got some options under project. If I take project, you can give access to projects to a user to be limited. This limited role is read only, but their own time entry can be added and edited. It excludes all financial information. If I give a standard role, This role suits staff who runs the project but do not see staff and project cost information. And then we've got admin. This role has the same access to the project as a standard and includes staff and project cost information. It's ideal for business owner and admin staff. So if somebody wants to access project side of Xero only, meaning only that part of Xero, the project function, then you can tick this project checkbox and then assign a user role accordingly. You can click each option and read what sort of access or permission level will have, and then assign a user that is appropriate for your staff accordingly. The next one is the expenses. So the expenses, you've got the submitter, you've got the approver, and admin. So the submitter can submit and view their own expenses, and then somebody with approval authority can manage expenses for everyone else, as well as submitter role abilities. So this person can submit expenses of his or her own, but can also approve expenses submitted by other employees. Admin role can manage expense setting for organization as well as approve role abilities. So this person can manage and also be able to approve expenses for others as well. Next is the payroll admin. Allows this user full access, including preparing and posting pay runs and payroll. So when we select this one, if we give this role to somebody as a user, they only will have access to the payroll function of Xero. The rest of the Xero function will be hidden from this person. And then the main one is the business and accounting. So this one has got a lot of functions. If you give a invoice only to somebody, that person can create invoice to draft status only, or can create a sales invoice, quote, and invoicing, or can do purchase or purchase order and bills, or can approve and pay sales and purchases. You can't have all of them, so you can only give certain function. As you can see, if you use the invoice only, they cannot access the bank balance. They can be a bank admin if you want them to be. They cannot see the report. They cannot publish the report. They cannot set lock dates. They cannot edit settings, and they cannot manage other users. So it's a very limited role. And then you've got the standard one. The standard role suits business owners and admin staff that manages the day-to-day business accounting. This person can reconcile and edit statement lines, non-cash coding, can either do bulk reconciliation, statement line editing, and cash coding, or can add and edit bank account details held for customers and supplier, can view the reports that are published by the advisor, but cannot publish the report or set lock dates. But it can manage other user if you want them to. And then you've got the advisor. This is the ultimate user role that can do everything. Do sales and purchase invoices, can see the bank account balances, can be the bank admin, can publish the report, can see the report, publish the report, set lock dates, edit settings, can also manage other user if you give them. Now when you do the course, you make sure you give yourself the advisor role, so that you should be able to do everything I'm showing you in this course. So you go through each of these user role and then assign a user role appropriate to that person. Now let's see how it works if I invite myself as a payroll admin only. So what I'm doing here, I'm inviting myself with this email address to be payroll admin only and nothing on the business. Just see the payroll and see how it works. So once you enter the user first name, last name, and email address and select what user role you give to that person, then click send invite. what Xero does is it will send an invitation to me in this email address, and then I have to click on the invitation and create my username and password so that I can be a payroll administrator in Xero for Ashka Construction Services Limited. So here it is, the invitation to join Ashka Construction Services Limited, invitation email. And then all I need to do is click here, and it says Ashka Construction Services Limited would like you to access their account at Xero. Ashka Construction Services Limited uses Xero to help manage their business. And then I will ask me to accept. I will accept this invitation, and it asks me to create a password. So I'll create the password. Now you can see that I only have access to payroll function of Xero only, and reports that are related to payroll. So you can see I've got gross earning, leave transactions, pay history, and then more reports. They're all related to payroll, and I can set up the payroll and process pay for the employees of Ashka Construction Services Limited. But the rest of the Xero has been completely hidden from me. So I use these options to show you how that user function works. It's really important to understand this function, the user function of Xero, when you're inviting a person, because it will have consequences if you get it wrong. Now that you have learned about the user role and know how it works in this lesson, in the next lesson I'll talk to you about conversion balances and show you how to enter conversion or opening balances for Ashka Construction Services Limited.